Good morning, good day, and good night, fellow anchorites, and welcome to Chaos Chronicles. I'm Jordan, and this is my co-host, co-pilot Dustin, and we're discussing all things Disney's Marvel and Star Wars universe. No matter where in the galaxy you are, get yourself a blue milk, a nature gel, gal, or a radium slice, and prepare for takeoff because we have a lot of things to discuss in today's episode.
Hey everyone! Welcome back, girlies. We are on the next episode of Chaos Chronicles Pod for the Skeleton Crew, episode 6, Zero Friends Again. Are we ready? This was an interesting episode. We had some moments.
Interesting episode.
We didn't get any answers for any questions. We just got more questions. However, it was a decent episode.
I don't know how this show is wrapping in
2 episodes.
2 episodes.
Me either. Absolutely have no idea.
I don't know. It's another double next week too, right?
I believe so. Someone clocked me if I'm wrong on this, but I'm pretty confident that I saw that they are releasing the final 2 episodes the same day, just like they did with Agatha. I think that's the case. I'm pretty sure. Excuse me.
It is Disney Plus.
It is Disney Plus. It is Disney Plus. But it was a good episode, so let's get right into her. Let's just do a little... So our crew does not die like we thought. They were going to be in some deep dew, is what we thought at the beginning, or at the end of last episode into this episode. But apparently that little trapdoor that Wim pulled in the last episode was a trash chute, and they get spat out into this mountain, of this mountain.
Nod. This was giving Empire Strikes. No, it was episode 1, A New Hope. But that's not episode 1.
No.
With the trash chute thing, though, because Han.
Yes.
Leia.
Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of Easter eggs in this episode, which I personally don't know what they are, but I saw something that there was like 38 or something around there, and I bet that is one of them. 38. If you caught any Easter eggs, comment down below, because when I originally watched it, I didn't catch anything. I didn't even catch what you just mentioned, and that's a good one, and that is probably one of the 38 or whatever that number was. If you or anybody know what those other ones are, please tell us, because I do not know. I was too busy focused in and locked in on our girl, KB, but we'll get into that later.
The star of the episode?
The star of the episode, yeah, she got her moment. She got a big one. Yes, let's do it, girl. Let's just go right in. So the crew gets shot out into this trash chute. The weird thing was that they all got shot out into different tubes, which I thought was weird. But at the same time, I'm like, safety concerns. I get that they can't shoot them all out of the same one at the same time.
I mean, they could.
They could, but Disney. But yeah, that was a weird thing for me. But we got shot into this mountain, like the edge of a mountain. It's snowy. It's freezing. You can just tell the vibe is very cold. And there's like these little trash crabs.
They were giving those little creatures from Ahsoka.
Yes, but we like those better. We like those a lot better. Because these ones were shady. Cuter. They were cuter and less shady. In Ahsoka. They were. And were. So this episode kind of starts with our crew is again on the fritz, and people are panicking. We have some breakdowns again. Fern's freaking out, and she wants to climb this big old ladder to get to the Onyx Cinder, the ship, which you can see on the ledge of the mountain. But not everyone wants to do that. Would you want to go climb a ladder? What would you want to go do what she wants? She just wants to climb this ladder. No, me either. I don't do heights very well. And if I'm like not strapped...
I feel bad for Neel, because that poor little guy.
Our boy Neel. I feel bad for him too, because he reminds me of myself a lot, because I would also, if my friend wanted to, like, was determined to do something this way and none of the group was down for it, I would be the one like, yeah, let's do it together. Like Neel. But in reality, he knows he can't do that. Neel is getting his big ones here because KB is like, bro, I can't do that. And Wim is over here saying he doesn't want to do that. I think Wim is more like, I don't do heights like that. Sis, no. I'm going to find something else.
Yeah.
But Neel, I feel bad for Neel too because Neel gets stuck with Fern because our crew breaks up. Fern and Neel go try to climb this ladder, and Fern basically says, you guys do whatever you want. But the crew is getting annoyed. Yeah, honestly, though, maybe she's coming around because KB does mention that to Wim that Fern doesn't really. Well, I don't know if it was her exactly. I might be a little foggy on that. It was 2 days ago when I watched the episode, but someone mentions the fact that they don't think Fern really asked the crew like of advice or any input on plans. Fern just makes the plans. The crew is not crewing right now. The crew's not crewing. Someone mentions this, but I don't remember who it was.
Was it KB?
I think it was KB because KB has her big.
I think it was
because yes, and
not me needing to go back and watch the episode.
Honestly, it's the shortest episode of the series so far, being at like 34 minutes. It was a really short, cute episode, and some people are comparing it to like Disney. This episode in particular is what fans of Star Wars are saying is the most like geared to children episode.
Oh yeah,
of the series. Yeah. For sure. There's a lot of friendship moments, a lot of like
this planet. Like the more I seen it, the more I was getting a Hoth.
Yes, I also was getting Hoth as well, which is weird because we didn't. It's a weird change of the planet because when we were in the last episode, the planet didn't seem like this snowy, cold planet when we were in like this when we were in like the sauna spa area, but now we're like ice cold snow depths on like there's inches on the ground. So it was a weird change. So I don't really understand the switch up unless the spa is on the top. Well, I guess it is on the top of the mountain, but it was weird for me that we went from spa warmth to Hoth, basically.
I was like, why did the temperature drop?
A lot, quite a bit.
Are we on the same planet?
I don't know. We must be because again, KB mentioned that she didn't want to be on this planet very long in the last episode, and now we kind of see why, but we'll talk about that in a second because once our friends split and Fern and Neel go tackle this ladder and Wim and KB are following these crabs that say that they can help them, which that's would you trust these crabs for real? Because they can only come on.
It's the options of that ladder or the crabs.
That's the options we have here. And honestly, I honestly would probably, in that scenario, would want to do the ladder, even though I hate heights, over the crabs. Because I don't know.
Could you imagine getting bit by one of those mechanical crab people?
Honestly.
Do we even know what they're called?
No. I tried to find it, and I couldn't personally find it. If anyone knows, please, again, let us know. But all I saw was trash crabs, and I wrote it down like so many times because that's all I could find.
That's because there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them, but they're
kind of like mechanical.
They can speak. What were they saying? I don't remember what they said. It was something about on the lines of trust or they could help. Something along you could either trust them or they can help you. One of those two lines is where we were going with the trash crabs. And they were speaking. They were saying stuff to KB and Wim, like, we can help or trust us or whatever the hell they were all saying. But
that reminds me of Ka from the Jungle Book. Is it Ka? Trust in me.
Yes, the snake. Yes. That's my niece's favorite character of the Jungle Book, by the way. I think she's going to be a little snaky girl because Ka's her favorite character.
Well, we are in the year of the snake.
Oh. Okay, girl. Let's get our big ones. That's crazy.
It is Chinese New Year. It's snake.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I did not know that. That's crazy. But yes, now since our friends have split up, the screen goes back to Jod for a second, and he's crawling out of this lair, dripping down. He's on the drip, baby. He's got his drip. He stole all the goods. And
Maybe he doesn't need At Attin now.
he's got necklaces on. He's got all these things on. But we do get an answer to one of our questions from last episode.
Would have been
all the jewels. Yeah. He's got all of it going on, baby. But he thinks he's on the clear and he's good. He doesn't have kids now. He just got SM-33 in him. They're rocking the world, baby. Until we find out that actually one of our answers to our questions last episode do get resolved. All those pirates, they didn't die, baby. They didn't die. So I don't know how they didn't die, but they didn't. And Pokkit didn't die either. So we got Pokkit and the crew out here ready to snatch him up. He still has a bounty on his head. They snatch him up and they take him to good old Brutus. And he was going to die. He was given death by airlock. But then Jod has a really good... He's got charisma,
uniqueness, nerve and
talent. Yes, Drag Race coming out today as we're filming this. In 15 minutes, it's coming out. So, babes, we'll get on it. But yes, he's got charisma because he pulls out this big spiel about how he knows where At Attin is. Brutus would be the right-hand man. He ain't no leader. Basically, caressing these people into thinking that he should be their leader instead of Brutus. And they're kind of eating it up.
Well, what was the sand timer? Was it like, it was giving very Pirates of the Caribbean with the parlay.
Yeah.
Where you get like that second life in with the pirates.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
If you say parlay or something.
Ooh. Okay, Disney. I didn't catch that either.
They're branding.
They are. Mm-hmm.
So, and then by the time that the like sand, it looked like ooze to me. Mm-hmm. And when it timed out, that was when he was like, but I know where At Attin is.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yep. And he has the coordinates, so he truly does know where it is. He offers them their last credit, the last Old Republic credit that he stole.
I don't
to kind of get his life back.
I don't think he has those coordinates. The more I think about it, those could be fake coordinates to one of the other At Attins.
Mm-hmm.
Courtesy of Kim.
Possibly. We don't know yet because we didn't actually see anything about the coordinates. So you could be onto something. Maybe he doesn't, which would make sense because why would we actively allow this character to go to At Attin to like mess up stuff without I do think you're right, actually. It just doesn't make sense. The storyline wouldn't make sense for him to go with pirates and the kids being on their own.
The weird thing I found was the coordinates last time sent them to that clone of At Attin that wasn't really At Attin.
That At Akron or At Attin or Achar, whatever, however you
pronounce
it. One of those. That one. What? Yeah, you're right.
I absolutely hate the names of these planets because they're a mouthful.
They are quite actually. All 8 of them are. I don't remember all 8, but I did look at all 8, and yeah, they are. And are
all 8.
All 8. All 8 sister planets. We got a coven, baby. A whole coven.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Kim gave KB the proper
Well,
coordinates.
aren't those the coordinates to the other place that they went to, or no?
I have no idea.
Because I thought those the coordinates that they got from Kim was that at Akron planet. I thought that was the planet that led them to.
That other
But
planet?
yeah. So honestly, the data roast, I'm gonna call it, the roast that had the data in it, it could have also false information too, and it could just be another sister planet, which would make sense. However,
It could be just to, I don't know.
well, we both know, and the viewers at
Just
home,
feels like
everyone
a
knows.
decoy.
Yeah, the whole At Attin is so locked into being hidden that like it's locked in. As we've all seen, there's so many things that everyone's going way out of their way to make sure no one finds this, which is so crazy to me. Like everybody, even a pirate who destroyed the At Attin coordinates or told SM-33 to, that's weird too. Like I don't know, why would a pirate destroy the coordinates? You know what I mean?
Especially to a treasure planet.
Exactly.
Ooh, but
And he
could
forced his
see-
ship to wreck into the planet.
I don't know.
Again, more questions than answers in this episode. Way more.
Very.
It's crazy.
It'll be interesting to see how the next 2 episodes play out going into a season finale.
Right.
I do feel like this show would benefit from a second season.
Me too.
Well, we felt that about Accolade as well. But this one, I guess we'll have a better look at what's coming for Star Wars in April at Star Wars Celebration, which could lead them to announcing second season.
I agree. I don't. Yeah, by the time April comes around, which we are going to cover celebrations everyone, so come back to watch those. Once April comes around, yes, I do think they would know if they were going to renew it or not. So I do think we'll know if there's a second season coming. But
Well,
I
I
think
definitely feel like Ahsoka season 2 is on the horizon.
if it better be. That's all I gotta say about that. It better be.
And then, do we know if the Grogu and Mandalorian movie got filmed? Like, is it in production?
That I don't know.
I'm just trying to think what we could get announced. Not me going off base.
Mm-hmm. She went to hyperspeed, baby.
But because they'll probably announce the final Jedi, whatever the sequel to the Jedi Survivor is.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that getting announced.
I couldn't. We will see. I do not know what will be announced. But we're
What we do
covering.
know is Andor is what's coming next for Star Wars.
Yes, that'll be our next coverage for sure because that is happening very soon.
As well
in
as
April.
Daredevil.
Daredevil, a new rebirth, reborn, whatever it was called. Yes.
Did you watch Loki?
Yes, some of it. Didn't finish it.
Did you watch season 2?
No.
That might be fun.
I need to watch both, and we will.
Because I haven't. I'm really bad at TV shows. I currently have 3 episodes of 90 Day Fiancé on the TV still.
Sister Girl. Yeah, I don't watch 90 Day Fiancé, but I'm pretty decent with shows. I didn't get into Loki like everyone else did, if I'm being honest, but
I was really into season 1.
Right.
And I think I went to watch Loki season 2 and then just never went back. But I don't think it was like I don't think it was because it was bad. I think I just had a lot of other shows going on.
There's always we always have something going on, and we always are watching something.
Quite literally, I'll probably be watching Wicked later again.
And
But
will.
Drag Race.
It's coming. We got to get through this episode first. Let's get through our episode here. Let's go back to our friends. We are going to cover celebrations, so everyone come back to see our input on that. So after Jod gets his life given to, like, basically, like, what's his name? Brutus was like, hey, okay, you know where At Attin is. We'll let you live until we get there. He gets saved for now. And then we kind of leave him. We don't see him again, I don't think. And we get to our friends. So we got Fern and Neel on this ladder. And
That
Neel's
ladder looks scary.
It did look scary. Neel isn't doing too hot on said ladder because Fern is above him. And she's basically kind of like, what are you doing, girl? And he proceeds to tell her that his body doesn't work like hers. He doesn't like his, like, I don't know what he said exactly. Something about like maybe his legs don't bend like hers. I don't remember what he said, which would make sense because Neel kind of, if we look back at every episode, Neel is kind of behind everyone when they're running away from danger. Neel's slacking in the back. But so Fern comes up with this idea to tie him to her to make it a little easier so he can just kind of follow her and do a lot of less work. Which, thank goodness, girl, we can hate on Fern, everybody, but Fern eats down. And she's quick on her feet, which I like. So they have resolved their issue, but we go back to KB, and this is where the big issue of the whole episode starts, is when KB announces to Wim that her ogs are corroded, and she's like shutting down, which you could physically see her shutting down. Her, like, she cannot move. She starts to be real slow with her words. She is fully shutting down, and this is when I got nervous for our girl. I thought she was going to perish here. I thought she was like literally dying because we're with Wim. Just keep that in mind.
We know I'm not the biggest Wim supporter. I've made it no secret, but I really appreciated that he handled it and kept our girl from dying.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets a little bit of bonus points for that.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of bonus points.
Right.
But he gets a little bit of redemption.
I agree. I agree because, yeah, he does actually help her kind of come together and come back. So she is trying to instruct Wim on how to help her, get these old droid parts that are laying around them, ironically right next to them.
The irony.
So she is sitting down, fully going into shutdown mode. And Wim does get his big one, low key. He rustles around, grabs these pieces of these droids, and they somehow, how do they melt them together again? Because that was weird too. I don't know.
That felt very plot holy.
It did.
I could have used the extra few minutes of I know like it was to keep the pacing, but where they were, it didn't look like somewhere you could just like.
Yeah,
it was some kind of metal. I don't even know what it was.
I don't know what it was either. I couldn't tell you.
It seemed like it was like battery oil or something.
Definitely something like that. Definitely.
Coaxium, maybe?
Possibly. It was crazy, but Wim does help her,
I was
and
surprised that man even knew what to do.
literally same. Um, yeah, it was only because she was kind of telling him what to do, and I do think he obviously cares about her, which he gets a big one again when she's talking about her accident, talking about how she can't do things like she used to. She's afraid of losing Fern as a friend. But Wim gets his big one again by saying that him and Neel would be her friends if Fern wasn't her friend. If she lost Fern, that basically they would step in and be her friend, which she appreciates, obviously, because once he does help her, she calls him a Jedi, so she took it to heart when she was thanking him.
I love you, KB, but please let's not be saying such names to this child.
Yes, literally. But yeah, it was a cute little moment for them. I'm not gonna lie.
Fern is giving very a personality type. Like I feel like she would be really hard to have as a friend.
I feel like she would be hard to have as a friend as well, for 100% sure. But she's a good friend to an extent. Fern is, I mean, she's loyal. She has your back if you're her friend. She will fight for you. She has saved their lives. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So she's not a horrible friend, but the thing that bothers me is kind of what KP said or mentioned, that she's been staying quiet this whole time they've been together on this journey because she doesn't know how Fern would react if she like kind of spoke her mind more and like told her like, hey, I can't do that.
That's what I was saying. Like, I don't. Fern is the type of friend that it's her way or the highway
Yes.
at
Yep.
times. So, yeah, I don't know how. Maybe it answers to why that they're friends or whatever. I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say.
They were friends before her accident, right? I'm assuming.
You would have to think. But if they were friends before the accident, wouldn't Fern have understood that the latter wasn't an option for her?
Yeah, that's why she didn't want to do it, but she didn't want to tell KB this. Or she didn't want to tell Fern this, sorry.
Right.
But Fern,
So
Fern doesn't care.
maybe she doesn't know no.
Maybe she does. I don't think she understands. I think she knows, but she doesn't get it because she's only thinking like we're fucked. Basically, sorry for my language. We're doomed. So we got to figure out now, and we got to like make it work. Like Fern doesn't want to do this stuff either, but she does it because she has to, and she feels like everyone's should have that same mentality. But she does. I don't think she understands that they physically can't do it. I don't. That's what I would think.
It's hard to tell.
It is very hard to tell.
But we basically, the one question I have had since the episode
What is that?
Is she part droid? What are the mechanics?
Good question. She is part droid, as we have confirmed now, but I want to know what's the percentage?
Yeah.
What is it?
What
Honestly?
is different for her aside from like that? It seemed like her battery was dying.
Oh yes. She was straight dying for sure.
So she obviously, you know what it's kind of giving?
What's that?
Iron Man.
Ooh.
Because he's living on the... I don't know what it is, but you know his heart was beating from the...
I know what you're
It's
saying.
giving Iron Man.
It's giving something like that, yeah, for sure. But I want to know more about her accident. Like, how bad was it? Did she actually die and then just like kind of rebooted her into this robot? Well, is she fully robotic? I don't know. I just want to know more about this. KB is my favorite character, and I've said it before, of the series. And she's going to stay my favorite character for sure.
We've made it no secret that we ride hard for KB.
Yeah.
And I think a close second would be Wim. Not Wim.
Neel.
Yes.
Those are my favorite characters of the season. Obviously, we love the alien and the robot the best. Obviously, fuck these humans.
I just like... We have 2 episodes to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no idea how we are wrapping. Because I know the stories about the kids. But I am kind of curious. What's going on with the parents?
Right. And I feel like one of the 2 episodes that we get have to be about the parents, because at this point, we're almost approaching the end of the episode, but I don't know what we're doing, especially after this episode itself, because let's just talk about what is happening real quick about in the episode itself. So, so once KB gets fixed by Wim, she calls him a Jedi. She's like in her oats again. We go back to Fern and Neel, and we switch back, and they're halfway up the ladder at this point, but they see that some droid ships are taking the Onyx Cinder off the ledge, and now they're like in some deep doo, like they're in some trouble. So they proceed to jump onto one of the droid ships, which they are lucky to get on the luck card again. Here they go. Our friends are lucky AF, as we know. They land on the ship, and they control one of it, the one that they're on, to help their friends, which in the nick of time, because KB and Wim get led by the little trash crabs to a huge trash crab, massive. It's given Moana.
That was my initial thought when I seen the giant trash crab. I was like, shiny.
Yeah, me too. Exactly what I thought as well. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. So here we go. Just in the nick of time, because Fern and Neel are, well, mostly Fern is controlling the ship. She swoops down, and they just kind of hop on. What? As this crab is trying to eat them up.
Do some lottery tickets or something.
They do.
They have horseshoes up their asses.
I will say they are kind of becoming like a really solid pirate friend group crew. I mean, as we see here, we swoop up that KB and Wim on a random droid ship that's connected to the ship they obviously want to be back on. And not only that, once the crab gets his big one, throws this massive boulder at one of the droid ships, destroys it, which causes them to lose their balance, and they crash. All of our friends get thrown off the droid ship that they're on, but somehow make it still back to the Onyx Cinder and kind of eat down when they get back on it. They eat down.
And now that they're back on it, they don't have to deal with Jod. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm sure they're going to come head to head.
Mm-hmm.
But now they got rid of their dead weight.
They got rid of Jod. SM-33 got shot. He's kind of destroyed right now. Left for
Is
dead,
he?
basically.
I wouldn't say because I didn't exactly remember where he was.
Well, he once they captured Jod, the pirates in Pokkit, they shot SM-33 in the head. So he kind
I'm
of shut
intrigued
down.
about Pokkit.
Me too. I
What's
doubt
her
we're gonna get
origin
I know,
story?
right? Like I said last time, I would love a bounty hunter origin stories for lots of them, but Disney, you better get on it. But yeah,
I would love to see like how I don't. It's been a while for me, but Bo-Katan, like when Mandalore fell, what has she been doing? Like I could go for a Bo-Katan series.
I would love a Bo-Katan series. I love Bo-Katan. Yes.
And also, what happened? What was life like on Peridia for Ezra?
That's a good
Give me
question.
all the Star Wars, Clone Wars, Rebels content. Feed me.
Please. I would love that.
It's me.
It is me, Henny. But this is where our friends eat down. We're getting to let's talk about this last bit of the episode, and let's see what happens, girl. I'm excited. So the crew literally gets back into this. Their ship is getting attacked. Well, about to be sucked into a compactor in this trash area, and they kind of eat down. Neel and Fern take on the cockpit. They are doing their big one. KB goes to reset or reboot the ship, give them more power so they can get out of the situation. And Wim jumps up in the gun again and starts shooting at the compactor, which is crazy.
I think he might be getting the hang of the cockpit. Well, like the guns.
Yes, I agree.
Because he wasn't as bad as he was when he first started. Was it the episode after that they meet Jod, not the first meeting, but the episode, I think it might have been 3.
Episode 3, huh?
When that pirate yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What was the episode that he was shooting? What was the first time he got in the guns position?
Are you talking about Jod himself?
No.
Well, they would have. That would have been the same episode. It would have been episode 2, I think.
The one where he was shooting the pirate base or whatever.
I think it's episode 2.
Yeah. He has definitely improved in the cockpit.
Yes, definitely.
The gunner position since then, because I don't think he was very good the first few times we've seen him in that position.
Right. No, I don't either, but I mean the fact that they just kind of jump in is shocking to me, and they're like not horrible, but
not that great.
Not that great. But they're getting better. They are just kids. But they do end up freeing themselves from this doomed death by Fern remembering what SM-33 had mentioned about this do not ever touch button. They touch it, and it's kind of like a de-shelling button, so it de-shells the outer layer and saves them. And I'm like, girls, yes. They kind of all came together here, even though Wim kind of didn't do much to help them. He tried, which is something, and the other 3 kind of ate down.
He gets a participation button.
I think he gets his big one only because he helps KB the most. But I will say he does kind of get a participation, yes.
I was surprised he was even. I just didn't think they had the tools to melt that stuff
Yeah,
to
I
give
agree.
questions.
I
Will we get
agree.
answers? I don't think we will.
I don't think we ever will because we don't even know what's happening. But that's how our episode kind of ends: is them
I
leaving this
would.
planet. And now, what do we do?
Where are we going?
Where are we going?
They don't have coordinates.
Exactly. They don't have
They
anything.
don't have.
Are they going to go back to Kim?
Do they have those coordinates?
No, they don't have anything. They just knew they needed to get off this planet by
They're
themselves.
just gonna
Time to
be
go.
lost in space.
Not lost in space.
I foresee the parents finding them. The parents leave At Attin to go find them.
I agree. I think they're gonna leave in the next episode. But we will see. There's a lot of questions that I really want to know what's happening, but there's no we don't know because we haven't got a lot of answers for the questions we've already had. So I don't know. But I do think our parents are leaving the planet next episode.
And I could see, so my logistics that is it a supreme leader? Who is this? Do you know what I'm talking about? The mom they met and that iRobot came and then they were like, we request audience with.
I think that would have to be Fern's mom, right? That obviously did it, but I don't know.
I'm thinking the meeting of the parents with the higher up on At Attin
Mm-hmm.
goes nowhere, so the parents go rogue and leave.
I could see that. I could see that. I'm dying. Choking. I could see that
Choking,
for sure.
screaming, crying.
Crying, all the things. But we will see. We have 2 more episodes of Skeleton Crew. I don't know what's about to happen. I
I
think
feel
both
like they're going to
episodes
be
drop.
crazy.
I think they are too. And I'm excited. This show has been very good. It's been very refreshing. I've enjoyed it. You've enjoyed it. Have you enjoyed it? Leave a comment down below if you've enjoyed it.
Maybe we'll get a KB flashback.
I hope so. I would like to know what her accident was. So I hope that happens for sure. But that is my notes, and that's all I have. Do we have anything else to say about the episode?
No, I'm looking forward to what I think is the double episode season finale next week.
Yes, me too. I'm excited, and we will be back to let y'all know how we feel about it. How do you feel about it? How did you feel about the episode? Leave a comment down below how you felt about episode 6 of Skeleton Crew, and we will see you next time, girls. Bye. And until next time, anchorites, and thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Chaos Chronicles. Feel free to check the links below for our TikTok, Instagram, and much more. And what were your thoughts on this week's episode? How did you feel about what happened in this week's universe? We would love to hear from you. Please leave your comments down below. And until next time, once again, I'm Dusty, and this is my co-pilot, Jordyn, and we are Chaos Chronicles. Thank you so much for watching.